This is the Vet Voice podcast with Veterans for America First. My name is Jared Craig. I'm the host of the podcast, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Jay Andrews, who's the state director of the Georgia chapter of the Blexit Foundation. So please give us an update as to what the Blexit Foundation is and what's going on.
Okay, yeah. So the Blexit Foundation is an organization that's founded by Candice, Owens, and Brandon Tatum, and they wanted to basically be an organization that targets the minority community. So now we're focused on changing the narrative of minorities having a victim mindset to being more free and free thinkers, and that do things that promote our values. So we have five pillars. The first one, we concentrate on school choice. We promote school choice, and we advocate for criminal justice as well. We champion entrepreneurship so that minorities can escape governmental dependence. And we also develop history programs that teach accurate American history, so that our minorities know exactly the true history of America, instead of some of the things that are sold to us, such as CRT. And we develop live events that incorporate all of these different things in one space.
I'm gonna tell you, you probably have some resistance on that. I've been following Candice Owens for a couple of years now, and
Right,
she is such a refreshing voice for a lot of people. And
right.
as I've interviewed a lot of candidates, what I've noticed is groups that have historically voted for Democrats, moderate Democrats, are abandoned, that they're either being pulled so far left into the liberal agenda candidates that they
Mhm.
don't feel as though they can vote for them. They can't vote for all of the absurdities that are going on to the far left. And they're rethinking their decision as to the conservative, the Republican candidates. Are you seeing that in the Blexit movement, and which issues are determining people moving over to the conservative side?
Yeah, so what we've noticed, well, we are a 501c3, so we technically aren't partisan in any way, but we do promote values. And what we've been noticing is that more people are realizing that they've been raised on conservative values, like especially minorities. They've mostly been raised on conservative values, and they're starting to vote based on the values that they've been raised on. And then we've noticed like the left really is going away from a lot of conservative values. It used to be kind of middle of the road and, a little bit center left, but now they're going like so far left that they're leaving all of the values that can that any kind of conservatives or anyone that was raised conservative can identify with.
One of the biggest things that I've seen is the anti-American, the openly anti-American, hate America loathing. And
Right.
I'm seeing a lot of resistance from a lot of people who used to identify with the liberal agenda, name them
Mhm.
Democrats or independents, swing voters or whatever, but they feel as though that they can't go that way, that they still love America and there's great patriotism there.
Right.
And with that being said, the rethinking of who they're voting for and the impact on their lives. Are you seeing that in any one age group, or is that a swath across your community?
I think it's every age group, because I'm a big believer in that it's a lot of Marxist influences in our country now. And I think the Marxist slash communist influence is really taking this country to the those anti-American ideas, because it's a lot of influence that are trying to divide our country and divide us. And so it's starting in the schools at a young age. They're teaching kids things that they should not be taught. They're teaching kids, about LGBTQ things and CRT and stuff like that. And then it's going up into the all the way through the colleges, all the way to in the corporate world. So it's kind of like an attack on our country in so many different facets, that a lot of people are waking up and they're starting to see that America's the best country in the world, and we want to keep it that way.
Well, there was a communist manifesto back in the 60s, and one of the things that they really talked about was the attack of the family, the
Right.
attack of the church, the attack of all bases of belief systems and morals. And minorities are generally pretty religious, and I think a lot of us are being forced to reevaluate our sense of who we are in our community, and our belief systems. And one of the things that I think is missing from the left agenda is the lack of a belief system. Atheists are a fundamental part of the communist agenda. And I don't think it's sitting well long term. I had a interview earlier and said that milk is spoiled. And what they thought was going to be a fresh idea, the people who are being spoon fed these ideas from their professors are now in corporate jobs, and HR departments are trying to galvanize these thoughts. And now we have social media censorship, and there's a resistance because I think the American soul is to not be told what to think, not be told what to do, get out of my way. I'm pursuing happiness. Do you see that as one of the big motivating factors? Not to just feed all that to you and say, yeah, but do you see that hey, we've been duped and we're sick of it. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the reasons why I chose to get involved in the first place because, I'm a big believer that we need to put God first in everything that we do, and I've seen that all of these influences that we're talking about, like the communist influences, that they want to dethrone God, and then they want to end capitalism as well. So it's like an all-out attack. It's an all-out attack on God, and then it's an attack on America. And so I wanted to be a voice that can speak out on this stuff and kind of expose it, because I've seen it. It's happening in so many different countries. When you look at like just China and Cuba, Venezuela, and Algeria, and all these different countries, they've all been infiltrated in the same way. And I've talked to people from Venezuela, from Cuba, and they're saying that what they're seeing in America scares them because they've been through it, and it happened the exact same way. So we all need to speak up, and we need to fight against it because we don't want to lose our country to influences such as these.
Well, the United States is known for being the home base for liberty. And if we don't have it, no one will have anywhere to seek it from. So you said that you have some events that y'all put together. Y'all have some things coming up in the near future, but between now and the general election, or what's your schedule of events coming up?
Yeah, so here in Georgia, we focus more on serving our community. So we're having the fall festival on October 22nd, which is what we're doing. We're just allowing the community to come out and just have fun and play some games for kids and stuff like that. And this is an opportunity for us to get people out to have fun, and then we can have talks such as talks about candidates, or we can have talks about um, the direction of our communities, the direction of our country. We just try to open up the environment to make it kind of comfortable for people because politics has become so divisive, and we want people from the left and the right to come out so that we can have those conversations, and we can all um, really start to just end the narrative that's coming around is and trying to divide us and like bring people together so that we can have honest conversations and talk about real values, because some people don't know what they're voting for. So we just want them to know, like, okay, this side it believes this side believes this. These are the values that you're voting for when you vote. So that's the kind of the conversation that we do want to have with people.
Well, I'm a big firm believer in speech, and it sounds like you agree that more speech is the tool that will build a community. And tonight we have a debate between Rafael Warnock, and we also have Herschel Walker. And I
Mhm.
think that debate is right on the forefront of a lot of people's uh, interests and trying to figure out who they're going to vote for. Do you think that there's a lot of undecided voters who are really going to look at this debate tonight to determine who they're going to vote for?
Yeah, I do. Because the Georgia elections, like they're really important to the country. I've been a few places just this past week. I've been to Houston. I've been to Nashville. I've been to South Carolina, and I'm like everyone is talking about the same races. They're talking about the race with Governor Kemp and Stacey Abrams, and they're talking about Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. And to be honest, like when I speak in my Blexit capacity, we're nonpartisan, but I'm also a person as well with values. And so personally, I find it very offensive to someone like Raphael Warnock, who says that he's a pastor, but he promotes things such as abortion. You know what I mean? And that I find that really disrespectful. I find it really disingenuous, and I have to speak out on stuff like that because just as a person, I don't like being hypocritical. I don't like hypocrites, and then I don't like the gospel of Jesus Christ being misrepresented. And I think that's what Rafael Warnock does a lot. And so that's what I'm interested in seeing, like his response to if Herschel Walker calls him out on something like that, what will he say about it? Because I really feel like that's an answer that he has to answer to, because he considers himself a pro-abortion pastor, and I don't see anywhere in the Bible where that aligns.
Well, I went to 4 years of seminary while I was in high school, and one of the things that sticks out to me is the one time in the Bible where Jesus got mad. It was when people were taking advantage and monetizing religion.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, it triggered when I saw Raphael Warnock in the last election. Um, it it kind of made me think, would Jesus be mad at this? The misuse of the word and the skewing of the gospel to misinform people and to mislead people for a solely secular purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a little bit from the people you've spoken to that they have a common thought about that, or has that been turned into more of a norm these days?
Yeah, it's unfortunately, I think in the Black church, it's turning into a norm, because if you look at the seminary that Raphael Warnock went to, I think it was like Union Theological Seminary or something like that. Um, their uh, their mission statements and things, they don't talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ. They talk about social justice and using the church to fight for social justice and things. And that's becoming more prevalent in the Black church because of people like, unfortunately, because of people like Martin Luther King. They were really heavily into the social justice movement. They were really heavy into the social gospel, which I think it takes away from the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it goes to fighting for things that we want personally, instead of just spreading the message of the gospel. And it's kind of like a replacement. And that's one thing that I'm totally against, because I feel like the Black church needs to get back to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Well, it's so refreshing to speak to you. I'm always amazed when I speak with all members of all communities that we have so much in common. And those
Yeah,
that are trying to divide us overlook that commonality.
true.
And so if there are those out there that want to look into Blexit and learn more about the movement, learn more about your foundation, maybe volunteer their services or make donations themselves, how would they go
Mhm.
about doing that?
Okay, so if they want to volunteer for like Blexit Georgia, they can contact me. They can email me at georgia@blexit.com. You can find us on social media at Blexit GA on any site, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And if you wanted to like make a donation to the Blexit Foundation, all donations go to helping out all the chapters. So they can go to Blexit.com and they can make donations that way.
Well, keep doing the good work, keep up the work. The many of the most important things are the thankless jobs that we do. So,
Mhm.
for all those that haven't said it, I thank you for your work. And Veterans for America First, we are looking for America First movers and shakers, America First candidates to get America back on track. And I appreciate all of your effort to help out the entire country. And I'm also a resident of the state of Georgia, so thank you on behalf of the state of Georgia too. So,
Oh, thanks for having me, man. I really enjoyed it.
well, you have a good evening, and we'll be back in touch.
All right. Thank you so much. Excuse me.